Welcome to Hardheaded Podcast. What does a businessman,
an entrepreneur,
and a Marine veteran
have to say about what's going on in the world today? Join us and find out.
In 3, 2,
kick it!
All right. Welcome back to another episode of Hardheaded Podcasts. I am Troy Trussell, your host. With me, as always, is Mr. Chet Sears and Mr. Matt Amos. We got a good show for you tonight, but before we jump in here, we just want to remind you to go get Don't Sauce My Meat t-shirt over at hardheadedpodcast.com. Matt is modeling it for us again this evening.
this will be my third straight week
of wearing it. I'm surprised it's as clean as it is.
I have a washing machine.
I don't like thinking of Matt as a model.
Me either. When it came out of my mouth, I thought that's not right.
I mean, of the three of us, I've got the best legs.
You got a point. Anyway, we're going to hear
from... You got the most legs, too. You're wearing two of them.
I do have the most
legs. You got
legs.
some back home.
Not the most socks, though.
Nope.
All right. Yeah, we're going to hear from Matt and what's on his mind, but then we're going to jump into top 3 Little Debbie snacks. We did host this a couple of weeks ago. We're going to do Little Debbie tonight.
Little Debbie.
And we're going to hear what's on, or we're going to hear a good word from Chet. But first, Matt, what's on your mind?
So there's a few things today, a few little things really, nothing too deep, nothing too serious.
That's all we know is deep and serious.
Yeah. So number one thing I'm going to talk about today is I may have a new challenge.
A new challenge?
Yes.
In your own life or for us?
So, my daughter graduated recently, probably about a month ago, and I went to a graduation party. And at this graduation party, it was at the parents' house of a guy that I grew up with. His nephew was actually the one graduating. He's in my daughter's class. So we all went to their graduation party. Well, ended up, my buddy from high school was there. We actually hold the record at Andale High School together for the fastest 4x800. We hold the school record. It hasn't been beat since 99. So we just sat down, we started talking, and
that was another millennia ago.
Yeah, it was a different time for sure. We haven't really sat down. He came visit me once at my new house, when I moved back out here. But that's probably been, 10 years ago, something like that. And, we sat down and what started out as, hey, we're going to stop by for, quick say hi to everybody and just have a good time.
Got the small town vibes and you
turned into talking until 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And so it was a really good time. But in the course of that, we were talking and he's like, he goes, one thing that I always look forward to every year is your annual sock change. And I said,
which you haven't done in like 2 years.
Yeah. And he goes, I always look forward to that. And he goes, I think I got a pair of socks for you. And I'm trying to think, I'm trying to remember the name. I think they're Tough socks?
You don't need tough socks.
Darn tough socks.
Yeah.
So this pair of socks has a lifetime guarantee.
Yeah, some of my redhead socks have lifetime guarantee from Bass Pro.
So I'm going to work it out to where I'm going to put these socks on in January, and then I'm just going to document how long it takes for me to wear a hole in these socks.
How long does it take you to wear a hole in normal socks?
Typically not that long.
Yeah?
But with these darn
like
tough
not that
socks,
long, like 6 months?
Probably. Just because it's a hard rubber, it's not soft foot, even though some people's feet aren't really that soft. But the one thing that the socks have going for them is my feet don't sweat.
Yeah.
Which is what really breaks down the material in socks.
Look at you. Let me just highlight what socks have going for them. If they get selected by me, they're not getting foot sweat.
They're not,
I got that going for you.
Now, but they will go through a swamp.
Yeah, that's true.
And stay in my shoe, never come out, and they'll be damp until they dry out. They may stink for about 3 or 4 days. but then it goes away.
Yeah.
So that's the only real moisture that really gets into those things. But so I'm kind of looking forward to this test, but that'll start in January. That's just one of the things that came up. He's like, yeah, following and sock change. And he goes, I hiked the entire Pacific Coast Trail. So he's a traveling nurse, and he hiked that whole successfully Pacific Coast Trail. And he goes, I wore these socks and the whole time and didn't wear a hole in them.
Oh, wow.
I was like, well, you were changing them though.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said, I'm not, these do not come off. Once they go on, they stay on for as long as they stay on.
Yeah.
Until they either fall apart or I change them. So looking forward to that. But speaking of, ages ago and a lifetime ago, I'm not that old. Okay. I'm 40, I'm 43. All right. So I'm decisively middle-aged. Right. But we were talking about gray hair, a few podcasts ago, and it just reminded me of a funny story that happened to me a while ago as I'm leaving my office for lunch one day. So I'm walking out, and I see this older lady. I mean, she's probably at minimum in her 70s, if not more, and she's got her arms full of stuff, and she's going to the shop next door because she's going to drop off these items just to donate to or get paid for whatever to the baby store next door. And so I was like, man, she's got her arms full. She's not gonna be able to open that door. So I walked down the way and I opened the door for her, and she stopped before she went in. She's just got her arms full, and I'm like, well, I'm trying to go to lunch, lady. You have to get in the door. And she just looks at me and looks up and down and tell me about yourself. I'm like,
hi, my name's Matt. I like to hold the door for ladies.
I was like, I was like, well, what do you want to know? And she goes, were you in the military? I was like, yes, ma'am. She goes, were you in the war? I said, yes, ma'am. And she goes, Vietnam? And I said,
oh,
I said, no. I said, Iraq and Afghanistan. And she goes, oh. And she was just super sweet. She goes, thank you so much for your, we sure do appreciate you. And then she went on to tell me how she donates to Tunnels for Towers and stuff like that. And, which, is a great charity.
Yeah.
But I'm like, do I really look like a Vietnam veteran? I don't think so. I mean, I've seen some. So anyway, I made a post on Facebook, and everybody thought it was pretty funny. And then I went back and used the Face app. I broke my cardinal rule.
Oh yeah,
because I refused to use those. But I remember back a few, maybe a couple of years ago, people
I did
using that app to make themselves look older. And so I did that, and I'm going to tell you what, the color of my beard really did not change at all, but I had a lot more wrinkles on my face. So maybe if her eyesight was going a little bit, because she was definitely the Vietnam age group, but she's basically calling me her peer at that point, which is just
like, whoa.
No, ma'am, we're I'm not doing that good. I'd be a pretty good looking 70, 75-year-old, but
85-year-old.
I'm not such a good looking, 43-year-old. So
my uncle went to Vietnam, and he passed away this year at 85.
85?
Yeah.
So, what was that? The military presence peaked in 1969.
But I think the Vietnam War went to 73.
Yeah.
Before it was officially ended, I think.
So you would have had to have been born
18 years before, 51.
That is hilarious. Because that means, she thinks you're 70 some odd years old.
She thinks I'm my mom's age. I would have to be 73.
Well. She couldn't see very well. It's all right.
Super sweet lady though.
Yeah.
Not gonna knock it.
I'll dig it.
But that's about.
But if you were in the Vietnam War, don't you have to wear one of those blue Vietnam hats?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's almost criteria for any generation, Vietnam, or you got to wear the.
You need to make Afghanistan hats cool. You need to start wearing one.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Enduring freedom hats, or whatever they call it.
OIF, OEF. It's all rolled into one.
Yeah. Do it.
No.
With the gold rope across the bill.
Yep. Can't do it.
Yeah.
That's under what I'm getting you
But
for
see,
Christmas.
I think all those guys, they all go to the and that was kind of a trending topic too. Like the VFWs and the American Legion posts and all that kind of stuff, and how they're kind of going away because nobody wants to just sit around and drink and smoke.
Yeah.
Which good for this age group of people. They want to get out and they want to be active and they want to be fit physically, whatever. But, but I think that's where they get those hats and they all kind of get around like this guy's got a hat, so they got to show up to the Legion with their hat. And it's not my jam. I got my Lucchese hat. I got my Ando High School hat and got my WWO hat.
Yeah, you got a people's hat.
I do got a people's hat. I need some new ones though.
You got a hard-headed hat.
But I do have that one's really, really dirty. I can't really even wear that out anymore.
Yeah.
I've sweating that thing so much that it's
Okay.
broken down kind of on its way out. But anyway, that's kind of really the only thing that's been going on lately with me, other than my daughter graduating and heading off to college and
Milestones, left and right.
Milestones. All right. Top 3 Little Debbie snacks. Chet.
Okay. I brought the Little Debbie snacks,
Let's go.
but they don't have my number 3.
Oh, well, what
was your number 3?
Those Christmas cakes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Those are seasonal.
I got the next best thing, zebra cakes.
Zebras.
Excuse me. Those are good. I mean, they're practically the same thing.
Here, open it up and eat it. I brought them all here. You gotta eat it.
I'll eat.
Sure.
I'm fat.
Are you gonna eat one?
There you go. No. I'll go with my number 2. The old Nutty Bar.
Yeah, Nutty Buddies.
These cold are fantastic. It's hard to beat, especially when you eat them like
Out of the freezer, those are
wafer
the best.
style.
Yeah.
When you like,
What is it with you and freezing things?
that's just like sleeping at night. Cold makes everything better. Food, those cakes, it's good. And then my number 1, all time, oatmeal cream pies, OMCP. And let me tell you, these oatmeal cream pies, I would buy. They were like at 99 cents when I was in college, like $1. And I'd buy one of these, and they'd be like my meals for 3 days. You got your oatmeal, you got some grains with the cream, you get your dairy. It's all you need.
And your sugar.
And there's only one way to open them. You know how that is, right? Give it the old slapperooski. And
you do the slap.
These are fantastic duck blind,
100%.
deer blind. It could be 12 below.
Those go anywhere.
And it's not going to break your teeth.
There's no
It's
air.
always good.
It didn't work. There's no air in this one.
Huh? There was air in there.
No air in
You
there.
just did it wrong. I don't know what to tell you.
There's no air.
You're
Oh,
just-
wait. Yep, I did bust it right there.
There you go. There you go. Everybody.
I'm gonna-
nutty bar for everyone.
I'm going to take these home.
That's a good idea. I like, if I had some milk right now.
Being Cloud9.
Oh, man.
I haven't had a zebra. I ate the zebra cake because I haven't had one in so long. But they're
good.
They're good.
I cannot pass up a
Oatmeal cream pie.
OCP.
OMCP.
OMCP. Oatmeal cream pie. Oatmeal.
Oatmeal is one word. It's
Oatmeal.
OCP.
OMCP.
You down with OCP? Yeah,
I'll
you
still
know
be
me.
down. Okay, that's my 3, man.
Boom.
Matt, what are yours?
Well, I'm going to switch it up because the Nutty Buddies are by far one of my favorites. But I'm not going to copy because it was on my number 3. So I'll go honey buns.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Just the
Sweet.
glazed or the iced?
they're delicious. Either one. I prefer glazed, to be honest. But I'll take either. You heat them up for about 10 seconds in the oven. Perfect.
Yeah, I
Or
think
not the oven, the microwave. 10 seconds. in the
I heat
microwave.
mine up over the heater in my deer stand.
The honey bun.
Yeah.
I could see that
Oh,
getting
yeah.
a little messy in the old.
Oh, you don't let it drip.
See, now I take Pop-Tarts to the blind with me. I'm taking.
Pop-Tarts are too chalky.
I like
No,
the
they're perfect.
I like the glazed. The glazed honey buns.
Number 2.
Well, I'm just gonna say, Tasty Cake takes the honey bun category for me. I like honey buns, but there's other brands that I like more than.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying that this is one of my favorite Little Debbie.
I'm with you.
Not my favorite. We should do favorite honey buns because
there's a lot of them.
There's some really good ones. The frozen ones that you get from the frozen food section that you heat up.
Never seen those.
Ooh, those are good.
I don't look for honey buns in the frozen food section.
Number 2, fudge brownie.
Yeah.
Those little squares.
The cosmic brownie with the little colored dots on it.
I like the one with the little nuts on the top.
Okay.
I would come home from school as a kid, and that was my snack.
Those are dense.
Yes.
Like you could almost use it as a weapon.
You could.
You could throw one of those things pretty good distance.
Mini brick.
But it was so good to come home after a long day at school, and apparently we were a Little Debbie household because we had oatmeal cream pie, we had the fudge brownies, we had honey buns. I don't know how I wasn't just a fat kid growing up.
You got the diabetes that you earn.
Which leads me to my number 1.
Type 2.
The oatmeal cream pie.
There you go.
I can plow through those. You're talking about they'd be your food for a couple of days. I don't know that one would last a day when I was that age. Like I would plow through the whole box and my mom would get really mad.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd all those oatmeal cream pies go?
We have to hide them from our kids.
Yeah. My you know what's crazy? My family, my own flesh and blood, hide stuff from me.
No way.
Like cereal for that. Like they'll hide cereal from me because if there's cereal in the house,
that's me heating up the bun in the deer stand.
Then
what kind of cereal do you like? Have we ever done top 3 cereals?
I think it's been a minute.
It's basically any cereal that has a little bit of sweetness to it, and I'd eat it just before bed.
I'll tell you what, if you turn your favorite cereal into grape nuts, it'll always be there for you because nobody else is going to eat that.
They're so hard, but
I love grape nuts.
I do too.
I put some strawberries on top.
I don't even care about all that, but yeah, that makes
I can have it without fruit, but put some fruit in it. Oh, it's so good.
I am a fan.
I
might have to go buy some.
They're pretty good, but I'd have to go with Raisin
making
Bran.
them in COVID.
Really?
Yeah, they didn't come back until like 2023.
Well, didn't Hostess go out of business for a while too?
I don't know.
Yeah, because Twinkies, nobody could get their Twinkies.
Yeah.
Should have brought that up.
So anyway, my kids like the same cereals I like other than grape nuts, so I've never had an issue some cereal being hidden from me or it being gone when I expected it to be there.
Like they'll take the mini wheats. They'll hide the mini wheats from me.
Frosted mini wheats?
Frosted mini wheats?
Yeah.
Where's the frosting?
The
you remember that commercial?
No.
Raisin Bran, because that's my favorite.
Yeah? 2 scoops.
2 scoops. Because, boy, that gets everything going, I tell you what. I love me some Raisin Bran. But,
I like Raisin Bran, too.
Yeah, it was so funny. We were coming home from a soccer game not too long ago, and my daughter likes to have chocolate milk after a game.
Yeah.
And so, we were driving home, and, Mom, she was like, Mom, I really want some chocolate milk. And she's like, well, we don't have any of that at home, and we'd have to hide the chocolate from Dad,
like the chocolate syrup,
the syrup from Dad, because he'd eat it all, and it's like, really, like, okay, like number one, I think that most of the time I see the grocery bill come out of my account, so
woman. Get me some chocolate syrup.
Milk. So anyway, this actually happened on Mother's Day. So we go to, I was on the way home from the game. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to be nice. I'll just stop and I'll get some chocolate syrup. So the kid can just make some chocolate milk at home instead of buying the expensive stuff. We'll just buy, instead of $3 for a little chocolate milk, I'll buy a big thing of chocolate syrup and I can make hundreds of cups.
Yeah.
And I bought 2 of them. So when we got home and unloaded, I said, hey, here you go. And then guess what? This one's mine. All mine. Nobody else gets it.
Yeah.
Hide that.
Yeah. I got in trouble. I used to get off the bus with our neighbors because they had younger kids and like watch their kids until the mom got home. And they had Nesquik strawberry flavor.
Mm-hmm.
And she had to say something to my mom about how much of this stuff I would eat. Because I'd put like 8 or 10 spoonfuls of that stuff in some milk and tear it up, man.
It's got to be thick. It's got to be thick.
Yeah.
We used to watch that show, Big Brother. Y'all ever seen that?
Yeah.
They did a montage one time, one of the contestants on there, of how many bowls of cereal he ate every day. And
Oh, wow.
One day he got up to like 13.
Holy cow.
He was just always standing up, leaning against the sink in the kitchen, like eating a bowl of cereal 2 or 3 times in the middle of the night.
He was trying
just
to get some endorsements is what he was trying to do.
Probably. Oh, it's hilarious.
Get him some Fruit Loops.
Yeah.
Speaking of, have you guys seen that Unfrosted yet?
No.
Seinfeld's new movie?
No. You know what? I started to watch it, but I didn't finish it.
Yeah. It's pretty funny.
No.
It's about the Pop-Tart, story of the Pop-Tart.
Oh, I'll have to check it out.
Fictional.
Oh,
What
yeah.
I love about it is somebody asked him in an interview, he's going around doing publicity, and they were like, what did Kellogg say when you came out, wanting to make a movie? And he's like, we didn't talk to them. He's like, what are you talking? We didn't talk to them. So then they all jumped in after the fact, but he's like, yeah, I didn't get permission for this. I just did it, Kind of funny.
That's awesome. All right. My number 3, Star Crunch.
Yeah.
Man, I used to love Star Crunch.
I
I hadn't had one in a really long time.
that was one of we never ever bought them, but every now and then, like I'd be at a friend's house and they'd have some.
Yeah.
Like, man, I got to eat that. It's got like caramel. It's gooey in the inside.
Gooey caramel in the middle, and it's got the
Rice
Krispie wafers lining the outside of it, covered in chocolate.
Yeah.
So good stuff. Number 2, honey bun for sure. I like the glazed ones. I'll eat the icing ones too, though. Whatever's available.
Yeah, I'm there with you.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna buy,
If I'm gonna buy, I'm
Glazed.
gonna go glazed.
yeah,
And then number 1, OCP. That's the best.
dude.
Can't beat it.
And you and I, we've already had this disagreement. The original is the best. If you get the big size, it's not as good in my opinion.
Yeah, big size is. Yeah, I like the smaller hand size, or well, they're not
The
hand
normal.
size, bite size, I guess. The normal size.
The normal size.
Yeah.
I like them all. I don't discriminate.
Yeah, but I mean, if you had to pick one over the other, what would you do?
It depends if I had access to multiple regular size or one big one.
Okay.
I'm going for quantity of oatmeal cream pie, not the quantity or the quality.
Quality. It's quality, man, not quantity. All right, Chet, you got a good word for us.
Deborah. You like what I did there? The only female judge for the nation of Israel in the book of Judges named Deborah.
I think they called her Little Debbie.
It's my mom's name, too.
I don't know, but I felt it was somewhat appropriate.
If my mom wasn't paying attention, you just got her attention.
Deborah. Deborah. Listen. So Judges chapter 4 and 5, if you wanna go reference that, but specifically Judges chapter 4 verse 8. Hold on just a second here. I am having some difficulties with my phone. But anyway, God is using Deborah, speaking to Deborah to speak to the nation of Israel. And he spoke to Deborah to tell the dude, Barak, that Barak will lead a revolt against Sisera. And his response to God's message was, yeah, I'll do it, but only if Deborah comes with me. And so Deborah was representing the voice of God during this time, and he said, I'm on board, but I want your voice to come with me. So he invited Deborah. And some of the scholars of the time, because it is very rare that a woman would be in this authority, she judged. She had a judging tree the Deborah palm she would sit under, and people would come in. And she was doing the business of the nation of Israel at the time, which was not common. That was all up until her, and all after her, that all was for mankind, or for men to do. And then Deborah came along, and people still followed her because she was representing God at this time. And this guy was like, yes, I want to do what God is telling me to do, but you're going to have to come with me and hold my hand, Deborah, because I need help. And so some of the scholars are thinking, because the men of Israel at that time were so weak, that God was raising up women to help in this case. So godly women that were righteous to lead Israel. And in fact, because of this is one of the most awesome stories of the Old Testament. But God, in response, says, you will be victorious, but it's going to be a woman that causes the victory, not you, Barak, not the man. And in this case, there's a long story, but the dude is running away from the army of Israel and stumbles into camp, and this woman takes him in, and he falls asleep. She realizes who he is, drives his tent peg through his head to kill him. So that was the deliverance of the people of Israel. In this instance was through Deborah and this woman, I can't remember her name, at the tent. But I think a couple things could be learned here. If you're not going to get with God's plan, God's going to find a way to get his plan through.
Right.
So, and whether that's conventional or unconventional, in Deborah's case, it was unconventional. And then he's not afraid to use those unconventional means as a way to show, look, pansy, do what I say. You don't want to completely obey me, then you're not going to be a part of the victory, which I think is also powerful as well.
Well, also like the contrast or the similar thing pointing back to Genesis, where he said the woman's going to crush your head, talking about the snake. So
from the woman, Jesus is going to crush the snake's head.
But, well, right, but from in this instance in this story,
yeah.
Like evil was killed by
tent peg to
the head. Yeah. Thought that was cool.
Which ought to be another good song.
Tent peg to the head.
Yeah. Anyway, so Deborah, that's a good word.
Awesome. All right. Thanks for listening. See you next week. Thanks for listening to the Hardheaded Podcast. Don't forget to share this podcast with others to help us get the word out.
Also, if you haven't yet, please rate and review the show. This helps our podcast show up in other people's suggested shows that may or may not have listened to us before.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.